What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about how to plan a trade. This is important because a lot of the times people don't get prepared mentally for what might happen in the opposite direction of their bias, and then they get disorganized psychologically. And today I want to talk about the way that I approach my plans in order to control these emotions once the market goes against me, because believe me, it happens a lot. So here we have the British pound versus the yen, and I notice this structure here, and this is going to connect other videos in my series. If you haven't watched my Wykov series, it's in the free section, you can watch it, but we're gonna touch on this today. So first I see this support and I see this resistance and I connect them. And it's starting to look a little bit like a megaphone type of structure. But usually these structures can mean reversal, but not always. Like for instance, here, this has a megaphone structure, but it was never able to break on the downside and it continued up. So you have to be careful. You can't take for granted that a structure is always going to work in your favor. For every structure that is a reversal, there is another one that is a continuation, because it's just another phase of accumulation where the market is not yet done with the buying, but a lot of people are happy with selling, and then after some time, people realize it's not going down and it keeps going their way. All this to say that I have my setup here, which looks like a megaphone, but not yet. And then I go on to a smaller time frame, and I see this. And this is what I would consider a distribution pattern. This is a Wykov type of structure, and this is the type 2. Let me just trace the lines real quick. So this is the structure we're trading from. I shorted this yesterday on the break, but I'm preparing myself mentally for the opposite of that trade. The reason being that if you look here, this is the channel, the upper resistance, where we have a small channel here where you see that these are typical overbought zones where you have these V-shaped reversals. And we've just barely touched on it. So it could be anticipation, like I might not be the only one that has seen this, but also it could be a trap, meaning that right now, when there's this much accumulation near a high, it could mean the high of a structure, it could mean that it's just gathering strength in order to go the opposite way. And this would kind of mess with my plans of making some money on the downside. So it's possible that it could go quick, actually. It could be a quick snap. Whether it's going to go through after that or not, I have no idea. But I have to prepare myself mentally that it could reverse from here. And it could go test this and then do a small reversal and then go all the way to the resistance and then do the trade in my direction. And do something like this. It's possible. It could also go beyond. So it's possible that it would start accumulating here and break out, or accumulate there and then break out. So these are all scenarios that are counter to my original idea, which is based on this distribution pattern. But the fact that I can see that we didn't quite touch the upper resistance a lot, and there hasn't been like that V-shape type of reversal. means that I could be wrong. But right now I have to treat this as a pattern that I trade. It's a high probability pattern for me in my trading. So I have to take the trade, even though I think that it's a high risk one, especially after we have this wave here. If you go on a small time frame, then this downtrend here, this small time frame downtrend, is quite exhausted. You can see the, I've talked about this previously, but structures after 3 waves, 3 impulse waves, it's kind of risky to short in my experience. And right now we're kind of seeing this type of accumulation at this level here, which is normal because we broke a support. So now we need to test to see if it's going to hold. And sometimes it will go a bit beyond and then test the bottom area of this. So there's no reason to panic. But other times it will completely break this and then go to the upside. This is what I want you to remember from this video, is that you must trade your high probability trades, or your setups, your high probability setups. Right now I do have one because I'm going from a large time frame into a resistance zone, and then I'm seeing a distribution pattern close to that resistance. So I have to take the trade, but I also have to make a secondary plan in order to exit properly this this setup. And if ever price goes here again, I will be thinking of shorting, and I will look for a small time frame setup in order to confirm what I'm seeing. So the other setup is, the other shorting area is here. Right now what I want to see is some type of retracement. I wouldn't mind if we retrace to that line, as I said. That would be okay. But then I want to see a break. I want to see this low that was established. I want to see it breaking down after some type of accumulation, or I want to see like a pennant or a flag, and or a retracement. These are the 3 things I'm looking for. A retracement that makes that resistance hold, and then I want to see a break, and then I will add to my position. Not now. There is no point. There is absolutely no point, because I don't have any confirmation that this is a successful break. Because remember, a break will happen in a lot of patterns. You will have a break of a support or a resistance beyond the previous 2 swing highs or lows, which makes this blue line here. And then it will retrace inside. Now a lot of people are trapped, so it creates for a lot of impulse, a lot of move towards the upside. But right now I haven't seen that. This is looking very good. Usually, if I wouldn't have a position, I would have shorted this right on the resistance, scalping style if you want. But right now I'm waiting to see if it breaks this on the downside, and I will short again. So all this to say that look for setups on larger time frames. Then on smaller time frames, you look for a pattern that you recognize. And then from there, you wait for confirmation. You wait for a price action confirmation of a break, or a break of a resistance towards the direction in which you want to trade. But always prepare for the worst scenario, which is the fact that it could go up, and then you keep an eye on it until it's another opportunity to sell. So right now, these are my 2 selling points. and I'll keep an eye on the pair and see if there's anything. And if ever price goes beyond here and starts accumulating here, then I will look for a long in that zone. I would look for some type of longing opportunity. So now I have 3 potential trades. I'm kind of agnostic to the direction the market takes now, but I have an actionable plan that is not based on emotion. Because if you don't plan for the opposite of what you're planning here, then the market starts to go against you, and you're like, no, this is a distribution pattern. Someone told me that this is a high probability trade, so I'll stay with my position, but you might get wiped out. So you got to always be prepared for that. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about, is to always make a second scenario from your original plan, and then trade accordingly and make your plan before you establish a position, so you have a clear head and you can act according to your plan, not your emotions. All right, this is a quick follow-up, because if you rewatch the beginning of the video, I was explaining that I didn't want to re-short this, because what I wanted to see was some type of reversal or an accumulation pattern or a pennant or something of that sort. And what actually happened here, let me just remove some lines, is that we had this type of structure over here. This is exactly the type of setup that I want to see, because this is very typical. It's going to retrace, then accumulate, and trap a lot of people into buying again into the channel, hoping that the price will go there. So these are the type of price action patterns that will create these big moves, because everyone that got long here, when this low gets broken on the downside, then these people that are long need to get out. And since I had a bias on the short side, I didn't go long, because I saw that there was distribution, and distribution after an uptrend means that we're going to go lower, most likely. There are always exceptions, but my plan was that after a reaction that we've seen here, I wanted to short again after the low was broken. But here I could not short again, because I already shorted the break, and because there was no significant reaction, I could not add to my position. But then I was able to do it after that reaction, and now the trend is breaking on the downside. So now I'm at the second phase of the plan, because it's possible that it would do something like this again. So what does that mean? It means that this is still possible. So I have to prepare myself mentally for for a potential reversal in my face. So I need to make sure that I'm never selling the low, so that I don't get trapped. So I need to always go after a reaction. I can sell on a reaction if I see on a smaller time frame like a small range or something like that gets broken on the downside, or I can wait for a reaction here and then short the break afterwards. But the other good thing that could happen is that it's possible that it would do a big downside movement like this, and I'm already positioned because I started shorting here, as I was explaining at the beginning of the video. So I'm exposing myself to a positive outcome for me, for my account, but I'm also trying to debunk my trade and see, okay, so what would really mess me up here? And this is, you always have to think a few moves ahead and plan for the unexpected, and try to figure out where would you get out if that happens. Like, what is your risk tolerance, and how should you manage your position if scenario A, B, C happen? And that's how you are able to act without emotions, because you are planning your trades and you are trading your plan. So that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.